Shadow play. Grandma was buried in the backyard. The day after her death, my brother and I each had a bowl of thin porridge while Mom put us to bed. Sorry I burped. After making sure we were asleep, Mom quietly called out to Dad. Dad gently lifted Grandma's body from the bed and wrapped her in straw mat. Carefully carried Grandma out of the house and Mom closed the door behind them as they left. Then right when I was dozing off, I heard the sound of a shovel digging in the backyard. The next morning, I asked where Grandma went. Dad told me Grandma's in the backyard. I went to check in the backyard. There was a small pile of dirt and some Grandma's favorite old items placed beside it. That was likely where Grandma was buried.
我觉得还是不行。
什么不行？
咱妈葬的不行，咱不该就这么葬了她。一会儿我要去镇上买一件寿衣，一口棺材，再把咱妈葬一次，至少要和咱爹葬在一起啊。
这得花多少钱？我们哪来这么多钱？
拿粮食换吧。我算了算，不多，也就半个月的粮。
半个月的粮，那可是我们半个月的命，不行。
又不多，我越想越不对，咱妈死了不能就这么囫囵埋了。咱没钱给她办得风光，至少也得买个棺材给她安个家呀。咱再穷也有个屋子住，不能让咱妈成了孤魂野鬼。至于粮，我只好有办法弄。
Dad said to Mom, his voice gradually growing louder. Not long after, the room was filled with Mom's sobbing, Dad's angry shouts, and my younger brother's crying. I stood frozen in the backyard, staring at a small mound of dirt where Grandma was buried, my hand resting on top of it. I didn't dare to return to the house, afraid to confront my parents who were arguing. Oh, what's this? It didn't take long for my parents to stop talking about the burial. At noon, the tax official came. This tax official brought two official soldiers and they kicked the door open and the second got here.
哎，交粮了啊！我们来收8斗米的粮，有粮交粮，没粮的拿等量的银子换。
The tax official shouted loudly while the other two soldiers started searching our house.
关老爷是不是走错门了？不是年前刚交了粮，不该再交粮啊！
住你们旁边的那户人家跑了，你们不知道？
啊，您是说沈家吗？他们跑了，我们不知道啊。
管他沈家王家，他们跑了，你必须得知道。按照朝廷律法，他们跑了没人交粮，我便要从你这儿收粮。
Oh goody! What kind of rule is that?
关老爷，这么多年我还是头一回知道。
那是你知道晚了，这都是上头的命令，我也是给上头办事的，也不知好歹。
关老爷，我们是真的没粮了呀！前年大旱，去年也是大旱，连着2年没有下一滴雨。我们家还有2个小娃要养，每天吃了上顿没下顿，还在想着去哪儿借粮呢。这，
头儿，他们有粮，看这缸里至少藏了1袋，
拿8斗出来。
哎，不能拿，不能拿！哎，关老爷，我求求你们了，这都是我们的活命粮啊，真不能拿呀！要么你们别往上跑，3个老爷每人拿1斗米走吧，好不好？
老子也不想你们。
What does that sound?
他才会给你们留了2斗米。
What's that sound?
你们别吵，再吵我们把剩下的也拿走。
I heard that pleading voice at the sound of the official soldiers shoving him around. They drew their swords, rummaged through our belongings, packed the rice right until to survive into the bags, and then took those bags away. Dad and Mom were beaten by them, and my younger brother kept crying. In the end, they still took the rice away. I stayed in the backyard, crouched on the ground, and covered my ears since I was too afraid to listen. Oh, oh, good. After the tax official and the official soldiers left, Dad slammed his fist against the wall, cursing bitterly in frustration.
刚才你还想着要给娘买棺材，现在倒好，我们4口人只有2斗米，才儿、穗儿、我、你，我们一家子都要饿死了。
See, she doesn't have a bigger sister, right?
我之前就说了有办法的。
有什么办法？娘卖了后院那宝贝。
不行，娘死前特别说了，传家宝怎么着也不能卖。
那怎么办？
我以前就想过，实在没办法的时候，就带着我爹当年留下来的那堆东西去演影子戏。
Okay. Dad sighed, his hand resting on the edge of the bed as he spoke
你
to
当真
Mom.
戏子是最贱的下九流，你爹当初好不容易摆脱了这身份，说不许你再演的。
I don't have a choice, right?
现在这光景，再演也是没办法。影子戏再贱，这手艺若是能让我们活下，
你去什么地方演？
去临镇、甘泉那边。
要是被熟人瞧见了怎么办？
如今这世道，瞧见就瞧见了呗。我收拾一下，今天就赶路去隔壁镇子，演上几天，换到足够的粮后就来找。
As Dad spoke, he began rummaging through the wooden chest under the bed. Inside the wooden box were the items Grandpa's father had given him for performing shadow play.
爹，我也要去。
Heard Dad packing, so I hurried into my room, eager to join him. A couple of years back, Dad taught me a bit of drumming and shadow play, giving me a rough idea of how to perform.
穗儿，演影子戏贱，你不能去。
Hey,
是啊
what?
你这小女娃凑
What's
什么
up with that?
若是落下了闲话，你以后都嫁不出去。
Dad and Mom both forbade me from going after hearing that I want to perform shadow
闲
play.
话就闲话吧，爹爹也说了，现在我们能活下来最重要。而且，爹爹你忘了吗？你以前说了，影子戏至少要4只手才能演好。而且，我也想多学一门手艺。
I muttered to my parents, my eyes bleeding.
行吧，多个谋生的手艺。
Dad sighed reluctantly, seemingly agreeing to let me accompany him. Dad and I walked out of the door, heading to the town on foot. Dad carried a wooden box in one hand and held mine in the other as we made our way to the neighboring town. The town next to our village is called Ganchuan, right? How you pronounce it? Despite its name, just like our village, it had also been affected by the drought. There was hardly a spring to be seen. However, Dad mentioned that during major disasters, life in the city is better than in the town, and life in the town is better than the village. More people around, there's mutual support preventing as many deaths or escapes. We arrived at Ganchuan town in the evening. As soon as we got to the town, Dad found an open space by the street. He lit a bonfire and rummaging through the wooden box. Before long, he set up the white screen for shadow play.
瞧一瞧，看一看，来看影子戏喽！
Oh, that's so cute. That's so
武
cute.
松打虎，三英战吕布，牛郎织女，100铜钱开演，有钱捧个钱场，没钱捧个人场。
Dad called out of the street, attracting passerby to watch the show. As he threaded the shadow puppets into the bamboo sticks, he continued his speech to attract passerby. Dad's voice was a little quiet and a bit strained, despite the bustling crowd no one stopped to watch. I was bored to death, so I started chatting with Dad.
你在给什么小人穿竹签啊？
我在给吕布穿竹签儿，一会儿若是谁点了三英战吕布，我便能立即给他演，不用他在旁边等了。
那我来
Oh, that's so cute.
好啊，那你穿这个张翼德吧。
这是张翼德，关云长是哪个呀？
这个
Dad worked on Lubu while he pointed at Fu and Yun for me. Oh, now there's customers.
看，来看影子戏，100铜钱开演喽！
Grandpa continued. Grandpa? Isn't that your dad? Wait, what? Half an hour passed and still no one paid any money. However, a few people did gather around. 3 beggarly looked uncles and 2 kids, looking even younger than me, formed a circle around us. I curiously watched Dad at the stall but didn't say a word. See, it's Dad, right? What's with the grandpa earlier?
爹爹，为什么没有人掏钱呢？
I leaned in close to Dad's ear and asked him softly.
这个镇上的人懂行啊。
Dad whispered in my ear.
行，
影子戏得等到完全天黑的时候才好看。现在太阳刚落山，懂行的人呢都不看。
I see. Dad had finished threading all the puppets onto the bamboo sticks and it was waiting for its paying audience. He gave a faint smile, appearing quite relaxed, as if he didn't care about business he was doing. Oh, now there are a lot of people. Another hour had passed, gradually getting dark. It became quite dark, making our surroundings brighter. Still no one paid, but there were more audience around us. We were surrounded by 4 beggars, 3 kids, and an old grandma, and a grandma who even got their own stools. But still nobody paid any money, and Dad's expression grew darker. He wasn't looking relaxed anymore. He seems rather grim.
爹爹，好像还是没人掏钱，人挺多啦。
先演吧。
Dad nodded in agreement, offering a simple response to my suggestion. It seems like he was ready to perform. He intended to showcase the shadow play to the people around and then persuade them to pay later. Dad handed me the drum and crouched down to organize things. They're so cute. With squinting eyes, I adjusted the frame supporting the white curtain. The firelight cast a glow on the white curtain, tinting Dad's face with a reddish hue. His sweat performed on his temple, trickled down his cheek, and gathered at his chin. He closed his eyes, then opened them again. He took a deep breath, glanced at the onlookers, and finally began to sing.
白袍，我家素宝金，丈八蛇矛手内围。
Yes!
鲸鱼吕布去交战，贼命难逃仗义的。
It's so cute! Dad sang loudly while controlling Zhangfei's in his hand. Zhangfei enters the stage on a horse, wielding the serpent spear in his hand. He darted from one side to another, charging back and forth behind the white curtain. I was captivated.
Sir.
Huh? Dad called out to me softly and gave me a nod. Just then I realized he was urging me to beat the drum. Oh, yes! I quickly picked up the drum and started beating it lively rhythm.
飞马来至两军阵，叫骂贼人来交锋哎。
I had controlled Zhangfei and sang another line accompanied by a drumming. The audience cheered and applauded enthusiastically. Seemingly encouraged with the warm applause, Dad sang with even more fervor. To keep up with Dad's rhythm, I also worked even harder on the drumming. The drum beat echoed, blending seamlessly with the surrounding applause and providing a rhythmic accompaniment to Dad's singing.
三
What's
英
that?
吕布演完了，演出不易，劳烦各位看官多赏点铜板。若是没有铜板，也可以给些粮食，我们什么都要。多谢，多谢。
Aww. After performance, Dad stepped forward to the front of the white curtain and bowed to the audience. Meanwhile, he was handing over the wooden box to the audience, hoping someone in the crowd would toss a coin or two. However, the audience exchanged looks for a few seconds before dispersing in the different directions. Oh, that's so bad! No one gave us any food, let alone money. Even 1 copper? All that remained were scattered sunflower seed shells, dying members of the bonfire, and the mocking waves of laughter drifting in from afar. Why? These people are not good.
真是一群穷鬼，戏都看了，钱是一点都不给。
That angrily muttered as a curse he set on the wooden box down beside him. After performing for so long, he not only failed to earn any money or food, but also drove away the audience.
整个镇子都受了大灾，家家都囤着钱粮救命，哪能为了看戏花钱呢？
Oh, that makes sense. Dad sat there unwillingly to accept defeat. An elderly man approached from
走回
afar.
家吧，啊，一会儿冷了，别让你女娃着凉。
sighed and then walked past the white curtain and placed something in Dad's wooden box. I leaned over and peeked into the wooden box. It was perfectly intact corn on a cob. Each corn gleamed like yellow jewels under the moonlight. After Dad stopped performing shadow play. He packed the items to the wooden box one by one and I helped him tidy up. Unable to find a place to sleep when they decided to spend the night in the rundown temple in town. Inside the temple was hay spread. 3 beggars sleeping on the side and us on the other. 3 beggars had also watched the show earlier. When the dad saw arrive, they whispered and chuckled mockingly from distance. Why watch it though and then mock it? You're the stupid one. Dad didn't say anything. He held me in his arms without saying a word as we huddled on one side of the temple.
为什么这些人都不给钱呢？
I leaned against my dad and asked him with his hands grabbing his wrap cloth.
是不是100铜钱太贵了？50个铜钱，可能就有人给钱了。
Then she wrapped cloth tightly.
我觉得就是太贵了，戏挺好看的，就是贵，所以才没人看。爹爹，你怎么不说话呀？
Slightly raised my voice. Oh, calm down. Oof. Dad yelled angrily before turning around and gripping my shoulder fiercely as if he was going to crush it. Felt me with her body tremble violently for a bit. Coupled with strength of his grip, I felt both pain and fear. I started at Dad with my eyes wide open. Stared. It was my first time seeing Dad this mad. It was as if he transformed into a different person. We shared no resemblance with him whatsoever. He was petty, irritable, and volatile, completely devoid of the gentle demeanor he had shown me years ago when he gave me sweet potatoes to eat. What was wrong with him? I felt aggrieved and wanted to cry. I now stingled on my tears, rolling my eyes for a bit before they began to fall uncontrollably.
Sir.
Seeing me cry, Dad suddenly panicked. The light in his eyes flickered and his mouth twitched a few times. He then reached over and hugged me tightly, pulling me into his arms.
Sir, 对不起啊，爹爹不该凶你的，对不起啊。
On the straw mat, Dad held me in his arms and apologized to me with a crying tone tinged with self-blame. Aww. I held to Dad and cried uncontrollably. It was as if my emotions found an outlet and all the pent-up grievances and fears turned into tears. I didn't blame Dad. I knew it was hard for him. It had been so hard for him, that's why he was like this. Aww. Dad slept for a bit with me in his arms. I hadn't been asleep for so long, began to ask Dad some questions because I was worried.
我会死吗？
不会的，我不会让你死的。
那爹爹会死吗？
Don't ask him, Dad. Dad?
人，走，爹爹暂时不会死，因为要养穗儿和彩儿。
See, she doesn't really have a bigger sister.
要看你们长大了，爹爹那时候才能死啊。
Then why does she know about the swine demon?
不让爹爹死，爹爹不能死，不能死。
好，爹爹不死，不死。
Started crying again while hugging my dad. This time I was the one who hugged him tighter. He also responded by embracing me back, gently patting my back to comfort me. I had no idea when I fell asleep as well. I remembered lying in Dad's arm and I felt really warm. The next day, we woke up in a rundown temple. And early in the morning, we headed only to the pawn shop in Gangshuan town. Dad sold the wooden box Grandpa left him, exchanging it for 500 won of copper coins. Then he made several trips to household in town, exchanging coins for food. At noon, Dad held my hand while carrying the basket of food as we headed toward the direction of our home. On our way back, I stole a glance at Dad. He looked very tired with a pale face and a mixture of uneven white hairs among his dark ones. Since when did it all begin? Dad got old of the sudden, and he stopped smiling soon.